Hi Sam. I'm glad to see you today. Are you ready to dive into a new German word?
Hi Alex. Yes, I'm excited. What's the word?
Today we're learning,
Stimme.
which means voice or vote. It's an interesting word with a few different meanings.
Oh, voice and vote? That sounds cool. Are there any tricky parts to it?
Yes, actually. The most common meaning is voice, but it can also mean vote, especially in contexts like elections. Just be careful, because in English, stimme might sound like stimmet, which means to agree but has a different root.
Got it. So how do we use
Stimme.
in grammar?
Great question.
Stimme.
Is a feminine noun, so you say.
Die Stimme.
In the singular. The plural is.
Die Stimmen.
Just remember that feminine nouns often end with in German.
And how do I use it in sentences?
In the present tense, you might say,
Ich habe eine schöne Stimme.
which means I have a beautiful voice. In the past, you could say,
Ich hatte eine schöne Stimme.
and in the perfect, it's.
Ich habe eine schöne Stimme gehabt.
For the imperative, you can say,
Stimm ab.
when asking someone to vote.
That's interesting. What's the origin of
Stimme.
Stimme.
Comes from the old High German word,
Stimme.
which also meant voice. It has evolved through the ages but kept its core meaning. Isn't it fascinating how words can travel through time?
Absolutely. It's amazing to think about the history behind words.
Now, let's break down the word.
Stimme.
Doesn't have a prefix or suffix, which makes it a standalone word. It's simple, but it's all about the sound and meaning.
So, it's just
Stimme.
Exactly. Sometimes simpler is better. But if we had a compound, we'd look at the last noun for its gender.
Can you give me some similar words?
Sure. Words with the same root include,
Abstimmen.
which means to vote, and,
Vorstimmen.
which means to pre-vote. Then there's,
Stimmrecht.
meaning voting rights, and,
Stimmzettel.
which means ballot.
What about with prefixes?
Good question. You have,
Einstimmen.
meaning to agree,
Mitstimmen.
meaning to vote along, and,
Ausstimmen.
which means to vote out. Each has its own nuance.
Those are really helpful. Can we practice some scenarios?
Absolutely. Here's a situation at a meeting, you might say.
Ich möchte meine Stimme abgeben.
Which means I would like to cast my vote. Can you try to repeat that?
Ich möchte meine Stimme abgeben.
Perfect. Now, imagine you're at a concert. You could say,
Ich habe die Stimme des Sängers geliebt.
which means I loved the singer's voice.
Ich habe die Stimme des Sängers geliebt.
Great job. Lastly, at the doctor, you might say,
Ich habe Halsschmerzen und kann meine Stimme nicht benutzen.
which means I have a sore throat and can't use my voice.
Ich habe Halsschmerzen und kann meine Stimme nicht benutzen.
You're doing really well. Now, a tip for remembering gender, feminine nouns like
Stimme.
often end in. Think of a singing woman to visualize it.
That's a good image. It helps me remember.
Now, let's talk about some usage notes. The word
Stimme.
is both formal and informal. Common phrases include
Seine Stimme abgeben.
meaning to cast one's vote and
Die Stimme erheben.
meaning to raise one's voice. Just be careful not to confuse it with
Stimmte.
which is a different verb.
I'll keep that in mind.
Let's put this into practice with some example sentences. For instance,
Die Stimme der Menschen zählt.
means the voice of the people counts.
Die Stimme der Menschen zählt.
Another one is
Ich habe meine Stimme verloren.
which means I lost my voice.
Ich habe meine Stimme verloren.
How about this?
Hat für die Änderung gestimmt.
Meaning he voted for the change.
Hat für die Änderung gestimmt.
Excellent. And one more.
Die Sängerin hat eine klare Stimme.
Which means the singer has a clear voice.
Die Sängerin hat eine klare Stimme.
Now, let's do a quick recall check. What does
Stimme.
mean in English?
It means voice or vote.
Correct. How do you say I love the singer's voice in German?
Ich liebe die Stimme des Sängers.
Almost. It's
Ich habe die Stimme des Sängers geliebt.
but great try. What's the plural of
Stimme.
Stimmen.
perfect? And how do you say to cast a vote?
Stimme abgeben.
Exactly. Last question, what is the gender of
Stimme.
It's feminine.
Great job today, Sam. Remember,
Stimme.
is a versatile word you can use in many situations. Keep practicing, and you'll make it part of your vocabulary.
Thanks, Alex. I really enjoyed learning about it today.